Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1422 by Assemblymember Cooper, an act relating to transportation.
Senator Allen.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and Senators. AB 1422 adds transportation network companies to the list of entities that are required to enroll in the Department of Motor Vehicles Employer Pull Notice Program. Now, this pull notice program helps businesses and government agencies ensure that unsafe drivers are taken off the road quickly, and by providing reports that show a driver's current public record and any subsequent convictions, license revocations, failures to appear, accidents, license suspensions, or any other actions taken against a driving privilege. Currently, the TNCs must manually pull DMV records on a quarterly basis, a process that's both inefficient and, most importantly, slow to catching driving violations. So Uber and Lyft already run background checks on their drivers, but as we all know, there have been some serious concerns recently raised in the press and courts about whether they should be doing more, and some slips that have been made. Authorizing and requiring these TNCs to participate in the DMV pull notice program is a concrete step the legislature can take to help improve the safety of passengers in California that utilize these transportation services. So I respectfully ask for your vote on this modest but very important measure.
Members, any discussion or debate? Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. Bates. I. Bell. I. Berryhill. I. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines. Galgiani. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wesso. Huff. Jackson. I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. I. Wynn. I. Nielsen. I. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, I.
Secretary,
Anderson,
call the absent members, please.
De Leon. Fuller. I. Gaines.
Aye.
I. Galgiani. I. Wesso. Huff.
Ayes 37, noes 0. Measure passes. Okay, at this time we will recess from our third reading and now go back. At this time we will recess the regular session and reconvene the secondary extraordinary session. Yeah, we will now lift the calls, starting with file item 5, Senate Bill 7. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Bates. No. Block. I. Gaines. Galgiani. Hertzberg. Huff. Lada. I. Morrell. No. Wynn. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Gaines. Galgiani. Hertzberg. Huff. Wynn.
Ayes 25, noes 10, measure passes. Members will now move to file item 7. We'll lift the call on Senate Bill 8. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Bates. Block. I. Hancock. I. Wesso. I. Huff. Wynn. Runner, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Ayes 27, noes 9, measure passes. We'll now move to file item 6, SB 10. Secretary, we're going to lift the call and call the absent members.
Block, aye. Canella, aye. Huff, Roth, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Ayes 24, noes 14, measure passes. We'll now move to file item 8, SB 5. Secretary, please lift the call and call the absent members.
De Leon, Galgiani, Huff, Runner, No, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Ayes 25, noes 12, measure passes. No further business in the extraordinary session. We will recess the extraordinary session and reconvene the regular session. Assembly third reading. Let's see here, are we doing 142? 142? Members will be moving to file item 142. Senator Mendoza. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1443 by Assemblymember Chow, an act relating to voters.
Senator Mendoza.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I'm here to present AB 1443 by Assemblymember Chow, which establishes the Office of the Secretary of State, a language accessible advisory committee to advise state and local election officials on best practices to address the language accessibility needs of voters. The committee will meet 4 times a year and will be composed of no more than 15 members that have demonstrated language accessibility experience, that have knowledge in presenting election materials to voters using plain language methods or another manner that is easy for voters to access and understand the voter information, and are also county election officials or their designee. AB 1443 is sponsored by California Secretary of State Alex Padilla. This bill has had no opposition and received unanimous support and was respectfully asked for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Mendoza. Members, any questions? Senator, okay. No questions, no debate. Members, would there be any objection to a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none. Ayes 38, no 0. Measure passes. Item 103, Senator Jackson. Are you prepared to bring this measure forward? Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 675 by Assemblymember Alejo, an act relating to rental vehicles.
Senator Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. This measure was brought up last week. There was some confusion, so I am bringing it up again. This is AB 675 on behalf of Assemblymember Alejo, which updates and modernizes the statute governing agreements between rental car companies and their customers. I'm sure it's all still very much in your mind, but allow me to refresh your memories and recollections about the bill. The main provision works to increase transparency in rental car pricing by allowing rental car companies to fully disclose to consumers all public taxes and fees beyond those already permitted. The provision will not change any consumer safeguards, including the requirement that a rental car company give the consumer a total price upon purchase. This bill received unanimous bipartisan support in the Senate Judiciary Committee and received, I believe, substantial support the first time around. I look forward to having that happen again, and with that, I would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Jackson.
Thank you. I
Yes,
just
please,
wanted
Senator
to say
Allen.
that the concerns that I had were very much addressed, and I appreciate the Senate's indulgence and stand in support for this bill.
Great. Thank you very much. Members, any other debate or discussion? Senator Jackson, would you like to close?
I just again respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Members, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, that would be a unanimous roll call of 39-0, adding Senator De Leon. Measure passes. Thank you. Okay, members, we'll now move forward on file item 144. Senator Hueso, are you prepared to bring this measure forward? Senator Hueso, would you like to bring this measure forward? Pass on file. Okay, we'll now move to file item 155. Senator Jackson, are you prepared to bring this measure forward? Pass on file. File item 156. Senator Cannella, are you prepared to bring this item forward? Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 689 by Assemblymember Dodd, an act relating to eggs.
Thank you, Mr. President. California has enacted a series of provisions concerning the marketing of shell eggs to ensure fair business practices and to keep consumers informed. Currently, violations of shell egg marketing regulations are under-enforced. The Secretary of Food and Ag can choose to levy penalties, but this is infrequent and communities are left without a way to penalize bad actors. AB 689 addresses these problems by raising the penalty cap and granting a county agricultural commissioner the authority to levy penalties. The author has worked closely with producers and with CDFA to ensure regulators catch bad actors and level the playing field for California growers. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Great. Thank you, Senator Cannella. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, is there any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none? Oh, excuse me, there's an objection. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Wynn. Nilsson. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Wolk. Wolk aye. Anderson aye. Runner aye. Nielsen aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Stone aye. Bell. De Leon. Fuller. Huff. Bell aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Wachowski. Aye.
Ayes 36, no 0. Measure passes. Senator Morrell, for what purpose do you rise?
Yes, purpose is see if we can hear file number 204. It's a bill by Assemblyman David Hadley. Not quite there?
Not quite there, but we will get to that. Okay, let's move forward on our next file item 157. Senator Hill, Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 506 by Assemblymember Mainshine, an act relating to business.
Great. Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, Assembly Bill 506 amends the revised Uniform Limited Liability Company Act to provide clarification on a number of unclear provisions in the statute. Since its implementation in 2014, there has been some confusion as to whether the law governs limited liability companies at particular stages of their development. the revised LLC Act, or its predecessor, the Beverly-Killia LLC Act. AB 506 would fix all of this by clarifying revised Uniform Limited Liability Company Act's transition rules and making technical changes to cross-references and typographical inconsistencies. It would allow those Californians interested in starting or investing in a limited liability company to more easily understand and manage the process they have to abide by. I respectfully ask for an aye vote, members.
Great. Thank you, Senator Hill. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 38, no 0, measure passes. We'll now move to file item 158, Senator Pavley. Not at her desk. Okay. We'll then move to file item 160, Senator Allen. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 8 by Assemblymember Gatto, an act relating to emergency services.
Senator Allen.
Thank you, Mr. President and Senators. This AB 8 creates a yellow alert system which would allow law enforcement agencies to use the state's existing network of changeable message signs on our highways and freeways to notify the public of specific descriptions of vehicles suspected of being involved in a hit-and-run collision. In an effort to prevent overuse of this network that I know many of us were concerned about as this bill's been moving along, the bill has now set very specific criteria that must be met before law enforcement can trigger these alerts, and it is permissive. First of all, one, the hit and run involved must be fatal or have resulted in serious injury. And law enforcement must have the license plate number or a partial license plate number coupled with additional identifying characteristics that could reasonably lead to the apprehension of the suspect. It's only after both of those criteria are met that law enforcement may then ask for the alert to be issued. Nationwide, less than half of all hit-and-run offenders are apprehended. In Los Angeles, my home area, the arrest rate for fatal hit-and-runs is only 20%. That's for fatal hit-and-runs, 20%. Denver, Colorado created a similar alert system in 2012, which it called the Medina Alert, named for a gentleman named Jose Medina, the victim of a deadly hit-and-run in 2011. Of the 17 cases that have prompted Medina alerts in Denver, 13 of them have been solved. So AB 8 has the support of pedestrian and bicycle safety organizations, as well as public safety groups, including now the Association of Orange County Deputy Sheriffs, the California Police Chiefs Association, and with recent amendments, the CHP is now neutral on the bill. There is absolutely no opposition. This bill passed off the Assembly floor by a vote of 79-0, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Great. Thank you, Senator Allen. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 38, noes 0, measure passes. We'll now move to file item 161. Senator Vidak, are you pass on file? File item 169. Senator Hall, are you prepared to bring this measure forward? Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 880 by Assemblymember Ridley Thomas, an act relating to dentistry.
Senator Hall.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Members, AB 880 will permit students to enroll in their final year of dental school to provide dental care under the supervision of licensed dentists and free dental clinics. Regular dental care is extremely important to everyone's overall health. However, in underserved communities, access to routine dental care is almost non-existent. Due to barriers to success, free clinics have become an essential source of dental care for many people in underserved communities. Current law already permits dental students to provide dental care under faculty supervision at off-campus clinics at their university. This bill will simply allow them to do the same at off-campus free clinics. By allowing dentistry students to provide dental care at off-campus free clinics, we can increase the capacity of these clinics, allowing more people to receive the dental care they so desperately need and deserve. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Hall. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, is there any objection to a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. We'll now move to file item 171, Senator Bell. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 851 by Assemblymember Mays, an act relating to local government.
Senator Bell.
Mr. President, members, this bill provides an orderly process for cities to disincorporate. Now, the statutes for disincorporation have not been updated much at all since the inception of the LAFCO, or Local Agency Formation Commission law, in 1963. So there hasn't been a change. And this will provide an update in the statutes dealing with municipal disincorporation. The bill provides voters with full information how services will be provided and what the financial condition of the city is before disincorporation. Analysis will be required of the city's financial affairs and that they're in order, and a plan to ensure residences of the city will continue to receive municipal services, and make sure that the disincorporation process are in compliance with Proposition 13 and 218. Lengthy stakeholder process to get to this place. I urge an aye vote.
Great. Thank you, Senator Bell. Members, any debate or discussion? Senator Morlock.
Thank you, Mr. President. The last 8 years I served on the Local Agency Formation Commission, LAFCO, for the County of Orange, and also have been involved with Chapter 9 bankruptcies. And one of the issues that came up is, why don't cities just disincorporate instead of filing for Chapter 9? And then with Senate Bill 89, 4 cities that had just incorporated found their vehicle license fee revenues dry up and disappear. And they started looking at their cash flows, trying to determine what specific month they would be running out of money. So disincorporation is now a big topic, especially in Southern California, and especially in Riverside County. I want to thank the senator from Riverside County for all of his efforts over the past few years to rectify a wrong. But what we found was that the code hadn't been touched since 1978 on what to do with a disincorporation. It was pre-Prop 13. So we need to provide some good guidance should this course be pursued. And I just want to thank the author and also the senator from San Jose. This is long overdue, and I wholeheartedly encourage a aye vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Morlock. Members, any further discussion or debate? Seeing none, Senator Bell, would you like to close?
Thank you, Mr. President. Urge an aye vote on the measure. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Members, would there be any objection to a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, noes 0, measure passes. We'll now move to file item, we're going to go back to file item 170. Senator Block, are you prepared? Great, Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1279 by Assemblymember Holden, an act relating to music therapy.
Great, Senator Block.
Thank you, Mr. President. Assembly Bill 1279 defines the requirements that must be completed in order to use the title Board Certified Music Therapist in California. The bill also makes it an unfair business practice for a person to use the title Board Certified Music Therapist if he or she does not meet those requirements. Music therapists are helpful to a wide range of individuals, and the profession is growing rapidly. AB 1279 is supported by the Certification Board for Music Therapists, AFSCME Local 2620, the American Music Therapy Association, Western Chapter, the Occupational Therapy Association of California, and many others. AB 1279 has received no votes, and I respectfully request your aye vote on this measure.
Great, thank you, Senator Block. Members, any debate or discussion?
I appreciate that.
Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. I. Wynn. I. Nilsson. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Hall, aye. Allen. I. Fuller. Galgiani. I. Huff. Morlock. I. Nilsson.
Ayes 37, noes 0. Measure passes. Members will now move to file item 172, Senator McGuire. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 762 by Assemblymember Mullen, an act relating to care facilities.
Great. Senator McGuire.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and Senators. California is only one of 2 states in this great nation that maintain a siloed, dual-licensed child care system. Due to this dual system, many children are forced out of care immediately on their birthdays, leaving parents literally forced to quit their jobs to care for their child, and the child losing the documented benefits of continuity of care. AB 762 will address this gap in child care that many families face by extending the toddler option, which is currently at 30 months, simply extend it to 36 months. This passed 78-0 off of the Assembly floor. Mr. President, would respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Great. Thank you, Senator McGuire. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, members, is there any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 39, no 0. Measure passes. Members, we're now going to move to the consent and special consent calendar. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 58, 63, 65, 78, Senate Concurrent Resolution 64, 76,
The consent
Senate Bill
will be
13.
deemed read. Without objection, we'll use our unanimous roll call. 39-0. The consent calendar is approved. Senator Pan, for what purpose do you rise?
Well, I just want to ensure that AB 963, file item 258, is removed from the special consent calendar for the purposes of amendments.
It is, yes. Thank you. So are we done? Senator Leno, for what purpose do you rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. For purposes of announcement.
Please proceed.
Thank you. The Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review will meet in room 112 immediately following the conclusion of today's session.
Great. Thank you, Senator Leno. Senator Lara.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Appropriations Committee will meet upon adjournment of Senate Budget Committee.
Great. Thank you, Senator Lara. Senator Pan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to briefly ask that to recognize that there are students from the Matsuyama Elementary School, my district, up in the gallery, and just want to recognize their presence here today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Welcome. Members, we will now return to motions and resolutions. At this time, you may address adjourn in memory motions. Senator McGuire, please. Please proceed.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Would like to be able to adjourn in memory today of Liz Burko. Liz was an amazing person who dedicated her life to making state parks the best that they can be. For 3 decades, Liz worked at every level of the state parks organization. She was a docent, park aide, and ranger, and for the past decade, she has been the incredible superintendent of the gorgeous Sonoma-Mendocino Coast District. If you ever met Liz, only after a few seconds of talking to her, you would know that parks was personal for her. She was passionate about her job. She loved seeing people out on their land enjoying state parks, and she was a tenacious advocate working every day to make state parks the best they can be. Liz recently returned from an incredible vacation in Prague, and shortly after her return, she was in a vehicle accident. Liz passed away suddenly and unexpected while recovering in the hospital. She was known for a can-do attitude and had a familiar refrain, "No problem, I got this." She is remembered as someone who worked well with the community and would ask that we adjourn in her memory today, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. McGuire, Senator McGuire, and please extend our condolences to the family, and please make sure the name's also been submitted for proper memorialization. Next, under motions and resolutions, Senator Lara, do you wish to adjourn in memory?
Thank you, Madam President and members. I rise to adjourn in the memory of former Signal Hill City Councilwoman Ellen Ward. Ellen worked tirelessly for the residents and the business people in the city of Signal Hill in my district. She was a member of the Signal Hill City Council for 12 years and mayor of that city for 2. Prior to being elected to the City Council, she served as member of the city's Park and Recreation Commission and Civil Service Commission. Over the years, she has received many awards in the local community, including the Long Beach Lambda Democratic Club's Woman of the Year. She was the Grand Marshal of the Long Beach Lesbian and Gay Pride Parade, the LGBT Center's 2015 Community Icon Award, and a LACE Award from the Los Angeles LGBT Center. Ellen opened the iconic Que Sera bar in 1975, a business she owned and operated for 23 years. She served on the board of directors of the LGBTQ Center of Long Beach for many years and was the founder and executive director of the AIDS Walk in Long Beach for 9. She is survived by her wife of 21 years, Pat Crosby, and her son, Don Jones, and sister Marlene Cantor. Her passing is a great loss to our local community, and I ask that the Senate join me in adjourning in her memory today.
Thank you, Senator Lara, and again, please extend our condolences to her family. Again, under motions and resolutions without objection pursuant to Joint Rule 33.1, Joint Rule 61 will be suspended to allow the Governmental Organization Committee to meet on Tuesday, September 1st, 2015, after the deadline. This request has been approved by the Rules Committee. Under further motions and resolutions, Senator Gaines.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and I would just ask that we adjourn in memory today in honor of one of my constituents, firefighter Michael Hallenbeck of Shingle Springs. Michael affectionately was known as Mikey, and he died unexpectedly on Saturday, August 8th, when a tree fell on him as he was fighting the Sierra Fire. Michael graduated from Independence High School in 2012 and was known as a mischievous, athletic young man who hated to sit still. After a brief stint in Santa Cruz, Michael returned to his beloved mountains, settling in Lake Tahoe, where he could engage in his love of the outdoors. Michael is survived by his parents, Kirby and Tony Hollenbeck of Shingle Springs, and sister Jessica Hollenbeck from Southern California. A life taken too soon, his contagious smile and enthusiasm for life will be missed by those who knew him. So I ask that we adjourn in memory of this fallen hero, Michael Hollenbeck. Our prayers are with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Gaines, and extend, if you would, our condolences and appreciation to the Hollenbeck family. Any other motions and resolutions? Seeing and hearing none, and if there is no other business, Senator De Leon, the desk is clear.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, a very productive weekend with your constituents and with your loved ones. So that you know, we are going to convene floor session. I want you to be ready. 12 o'clock on Monday, not 2 o'clock, but 12 o'clock on Monday. On Monday, we will begin floor session. We're going to work the file. We're going to have to manage the number of bills and sort of average it out so we don't work too much on certain days, but hopefully just the right amount. So therefore, we may be going late Monday evening. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we will have floor sessions beginning at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Friday. It's very difficult for me to give you a ballpark figure when we're going to end Friday, but don't make any arrangements right now to leave early Friday. We will have the day off, obviously, on Monday because it's Labor Day. We'll be back here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and perhaps as things ebb and flow, we may end up finishing up Thursday at midnight or Friday morning at 1 or 2, or we may work it out Friday. We'll figure it out. But I just want you to have the mindset to be ready to be on the floor next week, every single day, except that Monday. Not this Monday, but the Monday on Labor Day. With that, have a wonderful weekend with your loved ones and your constituents. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator De Leon. The Senate will be in recess until 5 p.m., at which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene, colleagues, Monday at noon.